Morning, everybody. It's 8:11 a.m. It is May 8th. Good morning. Another low volume day yesterday, with finally kind of like a liquidation breakdown, move down, but still very bullish. Market is gapping lower right now. We did hit key level in the Nasdaq, like I said yesterday. We might do that. We did that. We hit the most traded price of the last year and of this year. Huge level. So I expect today to get some type of correction, not a sell off, just some type of correction. Market's kind of frothy. So, as we speak, the market is at the week to date VWAP, anchor VWAP, and we just went under the most traded price of the year for the ES. Okay, so we were above that, now we're below it, and we hit the most traded price of the rolling year and of this year of the Nasdaq, and we expectedly are correcting. All right, so that's what's going on. And good morning. And without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use volume profile and market profile to find structure in this market, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, anchor VWAPs, and the most traded price of the year, the rolling month, the rolling week, and the previous day. Okay, all this helps me find structure in the market. Okay, helps me. It's my foundation. All right, and about 8:30, we'll go over scenarios, and particularly trade scenarios that could happen. Okay, based on structure. All right, that's basically my foundation here. So, and then on 8:30, like I said, and then we'll talk about what's going on in the markets. We'll talk about news. Talk about certain stocks, why they're up, why they're down. All right. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Set an alert. I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. Okay. And to show me some love, give me a thumbs up. A like would be much appreciated. And you can always follow me at @Gonzo719. All right. So I think we can get right into the watch list, the futures, and see what's going on here. All right, so we have an elevated VIX, up 1%. Okay, we're still not a lot of fear in this market. All right, we knocked that out with this big rally. We're pulling back right now, so maybe we get some volume today. But so far, the relative volume was weak again this morning when I checked it. So the dollar is up 0.18. Silver, all right, we're really pulling back right now. So silver is up 0.17. Gold is flat. 10-year yield hasn't reported yet. The Dow is down 0.12. 30-year bonds are being sold. Interesting. So 10-year yield should rise. ES down 0.32. Nasdaq's down 0.46. Russell's down 0.81. Bitcoin's down 1.06%. Crude. Oh boy. So yesterday, crude, I was looking for a short. Okay. And I was looking at that most traded price of the year, of the last year and the rolling year, of this year and the rolling year. So it hit that today, this morning. I was stalking it yesterday. Then they had a huge rally, which is just a relief rally, because then it broke lows and it hit that most traded price. It hit that key level. So, like I said, crude's been getting the volume spikes and not the ES and NASDAQ. So I'll be looking at crude again today. But now, however, we got some selling in the indexes. So now, Apple had an event yesterday mentioning their new iPad. However, market didn't care about that. However, they did believe get an upgrade today. Microsoft's flat. JP Morgan. Boeing's down 0.23. Snow is down 0.31. Netflix down 0.33. Meta down 0.37. Google's down 0.74, Amazon down 0.76, Nvidia down over a percent, up 1.06%, AMD down 1.21%. Now Intel had some poor, I don't know if they had earnings out, but I just saw they had poor numbers forecasted. So Bitcoin's down 1.23%, BABA is down 2.24%, Tesla It's down almost 4%. Jeez. Jeez. Tesla, Jesus. Alright, let's move on. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't switch over that list. But here's a list as I'm speaking. Okay? Basically, there's no leader. And you got the big laggard in Tesla, BABA, Coin, AMD, and NVIDIA. Okay? Sorry about that. Moving on. Top sector stocks. United Healthcare is up 0.26%. That's the only leader. Then we got a bunch of laggards here. Disney, Exxon. So there's some kind of some shady activities with Exxon. I just saw a headline. Home Depot's down 0.24, Chevron down 0.26, Salesforce down to 0.47, Qualcomm, semis, woof, semis, right? Semis is the weakest sector this morning. They are down 2.16%. Let's go to my swing trade list. Boom. Who's the leader? Ring Central must have reported earnings. Reddit did report earnings. They're up 9.6%. Look at that. Dutch Bros up 7.85%. They must have had good earnings. Let's just check to make sure I'm not making that up. They did have earnings. Okay. Cloudflare, I know they had earnings, so they had good earnings. Lyft, Affirm reported. Win, Monster Energy, AstraZeneca. Those are the leaders. Okay. Who's lagging here this morning? Woof. Shopify had earnings. Not good. Not good. Jeez, down to $62 a share. They can't catch a break there. Twilio again down. They had bad earnings last time too. Same with Shopify. Uber had earnings down 7.14%. MicroStrategy's down with Bitcoin. EA Sports down 3%. SoundHound down 2.23%. Intel, there's the Intel, down 2%. Okay, what is that? Alcoa. Mara's down 2%. Hood. That's what we got going on there. Okay. Back up. All right, let's look at the sectors. This will be very telling. And just to let you know, we hit demand zone in the ES right now, so we'll see if we get a little bounce. All right, staples, and there's no leaders. All right, let's go down to the bottom here. We have technologies down. That's the largest sector in the S&P 500. That is 29.3% of the sector of the S&P 500. That's going to be very heavily weighted, which really moves the market. Financials is the second largest. They're down. Communications is down. Ooh, big orders hitting the tape. Energy's down. Discretionary, that's Tesla, Amazon, and Home Depot. There's semis down 0.75%. Now let's see, there might be some news here. Oof. So this dropped just now. It says China says U.S. chip limit for Huawei is economic coercion. Ooh. All right, not sure if that's what's killing it, but semis are down. All right, now we can move on. And there's this economic calendar is very weak this week, besides Fed speak and a bond auction. Right, so let's look at it. It's very light, very light. All right, so today, all right, today we got crude inventories 1030. That moves crude like very violently. So I could still trade off the open. That's about 9 a.m. open. But then, yeah, you get out of the way of that crude. That really rips the market back and forth until it settles down. So then you got Fed Jefferson speaking at 11 a.m., Fed Collins at 11:45, 10-year note auction at 1 p.m., and then Fed Cook. Okay, tomorrow's the 30-year bond auction. That's been moving the market lately. You also have jobless claims. Okay. As far as news, let's look if there's anything to note. Not there. Let's see here. Just give me a second. We talked about some of these already. Uber stock slumped 6%. All right, Lyft stock rose 5.5 after the ride-hailing company projected higher than gross bookings. That's interesting, right? Lyft higher, Uber down. We talked about Reddit. Upstart stock sank 13%. Rivian stock fell 5.4. Let's see. Yeah, Shopify is getting hammered. Jeez, hammered. All right, let's see what the juice is saying here. Okay, yeah, look at that. China-U.S. chip limit for Huawei is economic coercion. Okay. All right, not seeing something too outlandish here. We can look at upgrades and downgrades here. All right, what do we got for today? Upgrades and downgrades. Okay, Datadog upgrade. What else here? That's the only one that I would really. Redfin upgrade. That's real estate. Let's look at downgrades. Is there one that really stands out to me? Let's see. Zoom info. Not really. Beyond. Not really. Those downgrades. Let's see. Coverage ratio. Nothing really to talk about there. Let's just make sure we got everything from here. All right. All right. Let's look at this. Let's look at anything that I missed. Not really. Like I said, downgrades. Nothing. Nope. Found the same stuff. Let's see. Target raised. Target raise on Bros, Dutch Bros, on Crocs. Not a target raise. Oxy, Reddit, Ring Central. Okay, let's see if we got any lower target raised. Beyond. Rivian. Twilio. That's about it. And coverage initiated. Let's see if there's any coverage initiate. Nothing that really report there. All right, let's look at earnings. All right, so after the close yesterday, Rivian, Arista, Networks, Upstart, Win, Lyft, Oxy, Twilio. That's why you're seeing some of these things. This morning, Uber reported, Shopify, Affirm, Toyota. Okay, today after the close, Arm, Hood, Airbnb, AMC, Trade Desk, Beyond Meat, Duolingo. So those are what's going after the close today. Tomorrow, Roblox, Warner Brothers, Plug, Kronos. That's before the market open. All right, I think that covers that. All right. Let's go into the daily charts here. Not sure if Chief is with me here today. She's been pretty consistent lately. All right. So, looking at the SPY yesterday, what did we do? Right? So look at what we've done. How about say that? When we hit down here and bounced, whoop, we've had a gap, right? So this is pretty frothy, and we're hitting a very congested area here, right? Almost up to this trend line up here. Okay, so where are we at now? 515.30. Wait, 515.39. 515.39. So we're gapping down right now. right about here in the middle of Monday's session. Okay, so where could we pull back to? Definitely can pull back to these lows at 513 or go down to last week's highs. Okay, and maybe we just rest. We rest a little bit. Okay, picture this as a sprint, and now you got to take a breather. Right? Once we start going into this range, which you already have, guess what you're going to do if you're long here? You're going to start taking some profits. Okay? So that's what's going on. Now let's look at the futures. Let's see the contrast. Let's see the moving averages. Let's see how we're looking. Okay. So you can see what I was just saying, right? So here's the 50-day moving average. That could possibly be support today. Here's last week's highs, 51.67. So this is what we're looking at. So look, we made a high yesterday, higher low this morning. We're already underneath yesterday's lows, going into, like I said, on Monday's session, the middle of it, okay, in the 50-day moving average right here. So, like I said, we could pull back. We could pull back, take a little breather. All right, let's look at the Qs. All right, look what we did. We almost came up to this trend line in the Qs. All right, I talked about this yesterday, but what happened also with this trend line, if you look to the left, it's the most traded price of a year ago and this year. Huge level that you just tapped, along with these two daily candles, which are resistance, right? But in the middle of this gook, you do not want to trade in this. This is just a monster level. I showed you guys this yesterday. At the end of, I showed you exactly that level. Okay, it's a monster level. Now let's just see if I put this out. If I show you guys on the Qs here with the profile here. See all that volume here? On the Qs, it's big. Down here, 364 is it? Because this is a year. And let me see if I can show you in a different way here. Let's try it this way. That's weekly. That's the month. Here, I'll show you this way. We'll go to on expansion. Yes. Okay, so see how large this volume is here? We just came up to. It doesn't. In the Nasdaq, the futures is much better. It's much better. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. All right, and now we're gonna look at where we're at now. Where are we at now? 438. Woof, woof. 438. We're at the lower third of Monday. Gap it down pretty nicely, right? It just makes sense. It was time for people to go, all right, let me take a break, right? Let's relax. All right, let's look at the futures together. You can see what I'm talking about. We just pierced the 50-day moving average in futures, see? And we're still pushing. So look at this level right here. That's last week's highs, 180.50. That's definitely a place we could fall to. And just relax. Like I said, see? Look at this trend line in the futures. Came right up to it. And right here is that most share price. I want to show you guys that again. You could just tell if you look to the left how much trades happened there, right? That's just a high volume node, and usually when you hit that, you don't tend to just cut through it, and that's what's happening. Okay, that's what's happening. Now, let's look at our triple-headed monster. That would be your 10-year yield, your VIX, and your dollar. Okay, yields are rising today. So like I said, is this a swing low that we push up higher again? Possibly, right? So the 10-year yield is up 0.43%. It's up 4.43% today. It's up to 4.4. It's up to 4.4. So could this be the swing low where we start to rise again? I don't know. So the VIX Okay, we're moving up a little bit today. We're up 1.66%. You can see the high yesterday was 13.6. We need to get over 15 to have any type of fear back, okay? And that dollar. Yes, that dollar is rising, okay? That puts pressure on commodities, puts pressure, obviously, part of commodities is metals. Even though gold is doing its own thing, this could be the swing low. Look at that, right off the 50-day moving average and pushing up. This would not be good for equities, commodity. It just wouldn't be good. Okay, so but you need that VIX to cooperate as well, that triple-headed monster. Okay, so that is the triple-headed monster. And now we can get into structure and maybe have some type of trade today. Jeez, this low volume is horrible. Just the volatility's gone. Volatility's really gone. Here we are. All right, let's look at the structure together. Boom. Okay, so you can see we have multiple distributions. Multiple. Down here, here. This is just a crazy wild market. All these distributions, right? 70% of the trades happened in this area. That is the value area. That's the value area, okay? 70% of the trading volume in the last week have taken place there. Okay, what have we done? Now look, 51.94 is where price is right now. We're gapping lower. This was bound to happen for a correction. Why is that happening? Well, look, there's an overnight low from Monday night into Tuesday morning. Look at that. There's the low from yesterday. When you broke that week low, that's why that's happening. Okay, you got single prints. And then look, all the concentration up on the overnight. So look at all this volume. You can see it here. Well, price is here now. Did we go back and revisit the most traded price of the week? Okay. This was going to overtake that. But now we can return back to here possibly. Okay. So we have some movement finally. Does this turn into, I don't know. What does this turn into? I'm not sure. Okay. Now remember, look, we're right in the demand zone right now. We're below the week to date VWAP. Okay. Here's the month to date VWAP. We're well above. Buyers are in control of the month. Okay. That's how that works. All right. Sellers finally got control this week because it's red. All right. So that's how that works. Now, this is not bearish overall. Okay. It's just the market needs to correct sometimes. Okay. It gets a little frothy. I mean, it's just, I showed you guys the higher lows yesterday. That's called one time framing in futures. And it was just higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Well, that's not sustainable. So that's what's going on. So let's talk about gap rules. Okay, how do you judge a gap? This is really pulling back, which is much needed. So here's our lows from yesterday. Here's our highs from yesterday. Here's our overnight low. Okay, here's price. Okay, so obviously if we open and we push lower, that's a gap and go. That's the most bearish. Second most bearish, you pull back, fail to fill the gap, then roll over. Third most, we pull back, fill the gap, roll over. Okay, that's all sellers in control. However, if we push back into range, yesterday's range, well, that's the sellers are not as strong. That's how you gauge the gaps. Okay, now let's look at some nuance here. Let's see if we have any levels that we can play off of. We do, of course. This level is pretty important, right? You got the 50-day moving average here and the most traded price of the week right here. Market needs to defend that. Bulls need to defend that level. If you lose that level, you have a gap below us that's not filled. You have another gap that's not filled. Okay? Another key level's down here, about 51, what is that, 51.55. This level's 151.85. Okay? I'm I'm gonna just see if there's any nuance to yet to these levels here. Not really. Remember, this is the most traded price of this year. Okay, we were above it, hit supply, right? Now we're below it. Okay, this is not an easy level to get through. All right, let's map out some scenarios here. Let's do it. Okay, so we're in a demand zone right now. Okay, we're gapping lower. We got some single prints here. We are, guess what? Almost 100% net short. Here's the only long activity to all this short. Okay, so what does that mean? Sometimes the market takes care of old business first before new business. Okay, so everyone's short right now in the overnight. So this could, if we hold this demand zone, could cause a little pop up into the most traded price of the year, possibly then roll over, right? So, all right, we might take this. We might take this demand out right now as we speak, but that's okay. All right. So bullish scenario. So we got 51. What is this? 51.82 probably right here. 50-day moving average on futures. Okay, that's the area the market's got to defend. Now you do have um, a demand zone below this. So I'm going to make this a little wider. This area is the bulls' turn to defend. You got a gap here. Okay, if we can't fill that gap, that's bullish. So if we gap and go, which we're doing now, the demand zone's been broken. So let's get rid of that. That demand zone's gone. Okay, that demand zone is gone. So we got to look at this area. Okay, so if you come into this area, in this big area, and you, even if you fill the gap and but go really recover and hold above here, I don't know how high you go, but you could eventually come back to here and just do one of these. Okay, that's probably the only thing I'd be looking at. All right, and you might get a short burst off the open because everyone's short in the overnight. Everyone's short from here. Okay, so that's possible. Now, if we go for the bearish play, okay, of course, you can pull back into here, which is the most traded price of the year. With that correction, fill that gap and roll over. Then your first destination would be here. Okay, then you have the demand zone down here. You need to take out the demand zone, fill the gap. If you hold, you got this demand zone next. All right. Now, depending on how weak the market gets, you could bounce here, but if you take that out, oh boy, you could be filling this gap down here at 5,100. Go back to the most traded price of the month. Okay. Now there's probably new demand that just formed here that I don't have in my chart, so it's probably going to be around right here. So let's just look at that together. I can break this out. Yeah, right around here. Right around here, 51.23. So right above the most traded price of the year is supply. Okay, so again, just if we come back in here, that could be really where you get lean in selling. Okay, that is your ES scenarios. Okay, now let's see if the structure is any different in NASDAQ. Now let's look at who's the weakest this morning. Is the Russell. Russell's the most relatively weak index, followed by the NASDAQ, followed by the SPY, and the Dow is not down as much. Well, that's United Healthcare's up. That's what's going to hold the Dow up. All right, so let's go to NASDAQ. All right, so the NASDAQ, you can see, is definitely weaker. So this demand zone is gone. Okay, now we're just tipped into this demand zone. So what you can notice here is in the ES, I was talking about the most traded price of the week, right? You need to break it. Well, the NASDAQ has broken it. Price is right here. We're gapping down. Okay. All right. So, similar, but you can just see it's weaker. Okay. Now, for nuance, okay, for nuance, you do have a little bit of a nuance here. So you have the overnight. Here's yesterday's highs. Now look, this is the most traded price of the year and of the last year, the rolling year. We tipped our hats into this supply. There's a supply zone here too. We tipped in here yesterday. All right. Full transparency, I put some call ratios on in Meta and Netflix when they were at their highs collecting credit. All right. So I'm collecting like 50 something cents of credit per contract. All right. I think I have like 12 total of those spreads on. They're going to be looking really nice this morning. Just because the IV was pumped up from both of them. So it's pretty nice because of this level. That's why I put them on. Right. So we're gapping down. I don't have to go over gap rules again. So let's go overnight, yesterday's lows, yesterday's highs, overnight lows. You have a weak high here. Most traded price of the week was yesterday, overnight low. This could be resistance today. Okay. You want to see the bears defend this level, 182. We're below week to day VWAP. We are below the 50-day moving average on the futures, on the daily chart. Okay, we just tipped into the demand zone and we're right at the most traded price of the week. Okay, so you just came out of into the demand and you popped out, right? We do have a gap, the big gap here, right here. That's below us with the monthly VWAP right there. Most traded price of the month right here at 178.80. All right, so how do you look at this? Very similar. This is your gap fill. Happens to line up with week to day VWAP, okay? So this area here is for sellers to defend it. So let's get into the NASDAQ scenarios and I'm going to take off here. So, bullish play. Okay, we are 100% net short. We have shorts from here into here, okay? So we're right in demand. So this could be a bounce point. People buy the dip. So most traded price of the week. So we're right at it, right? Which is expected. It's magnets. Those are magnets. So even if we come down and gap and go and we kind of hold this demand, right? Boom, boom, boom. Get some strength and you rip across that most traded price of the week and you hold it and you hold it. This could take us right here. And then that weak high gets tested. This is, I would say, highly unlikely for us to tap that again. I think we hold in here if we bounce. I think we hold into this area. The market needs to rest. Okay. Now, you could also fall into this demand and also maybe come back here. I think we would just lollygag there. All right, shorts. Remember, I said this area is the place to defend. So, okay, couple things here for shorts. If we gap and go, take this demand out, come back up to this level, right? And we can't establish acceptance above it and we start holding below it, you're going to move down to this level. If you take that out, hold it, we're going to go down to the most traded price of the month. Okay, and you have that gap. You could fill it. Now, you could also push all the way back into, like I said, this area has to be defended by the bears. If it comes in here and you can't establish anything over here, that could also roll over. Like I said, I don't know, I'm not sure how much we get today. All right, I'm not sure. But, it's time for some profit taking. That's what's going to happen today. Okay, longs were getting paid every day. Okay, so time to take some profits. All right, so that's your NASDAQ scenarios. Okay, I'm going to be paid. We might get some volatility today finally. Let's look at real quick. Let's look at relative volume. Let's see where we're at before I go here. Still low. All right. Yes, we're at 60% of normal volatile relative volume. See crude. Crude's at 98. It was higher earlier, but that's why I'm been liking crude. And look at the Nasdaq's only at 57%. So the volume is still not there. However, you have some selling, so that could enact. I keep forgetting. Am I showing you this? Yeah, I'm showing this. Okay. So yeah, so that's what's going on. I wish the volume was higher, but we might get some nice moves now today from this. Okay. So, hope everybody enjoyed that. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, if you enjoyed it, please give me a like. A thumbs up would be much appreciated. And I wish everybody good luck. We got our plan. And have a great day.